Hello and very good day to everyone, especially to our lecturers Salam Ritara. My name is Ainin Sofea binti Kharul. My team member is Nuratika binti Marwan, Amanda Ariesya binti Abdul Rahman, Sumaiyah Solehah binti Shamsul Bahrain, and Jesyta Jaimis. We are in group 5, so today our group will present the whole process of the assignment. Firstly, I will present the assignment 1, which is research proposal. Next, assignment 2, which is report 1, represented by Nuratika and Sumaiyah. And lastly, for assignment 3, report 2, represented by Jesyta Jaimis, Amanda Ariesya, and Sumaiyah Solehah. So let's get started. Firstly, our background study is when the Dine started reopen. There are some changes in the restaurant industry because of COVID-19. In opening a food service business while COVID-19 is happening all around us, the most priority must be safety to the staff and customers. Everyone needs to play their part to prevent the virus from spreading even worse. Every restaurant owner should be responsible for providing information on SOP to the staff and customer at the restaurant. One of the SOP for restaurant is to have partition wall installed on every table and necessary place in the restaurant. Partition wall play a big role in preventing the virus from spreading the customer and the staff. It also works as effective protection. Hence, the purpose of this study is to prevent COVID-19 and bacteria that's harmful to society. Firstly, the COVID-19 partition wall. The reopening of the restaurant, the cafe must be arranged in recommended safe distance to the customers and the staff. A clean protective partition wall can provide support to make the distance between the table and other tables. Second is the space and management. As we know, before the COVID-19 appeared, restaurants did not emphasize physical imprisonment. For example, dining table and customers sitting with the other customers are too close. In fact, this also does not have private space. So this partition wall is the solution for this matter and improve the safety precaution from reopening the restaurant during COVID-19. The objective of our research is first to study on customer safety for dine-in during COVID-19 pandemic. Second, to separate tables and install table partition on each table. Third is to redesign table and space in the restaurant according to SOP and for customer safety. Fourth is to collect feedback on the proposed design. Lastly, to finalize one design for the restaurant table and space. The significance of the redesign, installation of COVID-19 partition wall and physical barriers in restaurant may help to maintain healthy environment, the lower risk of COVID-19 infection. In short, the reopening of restaurant must be organized in such a way as to guarantee the recommended safety distance to customers and staff. This redesign helps open space environment in restaurant more hygienic as they protect people from possible airborne transmission of viruses that eventually help the community recover from the pandemic COVID-19. Okay, that's all from me. I leave it to my next member. Thank you.
Report 1. For the research method, there are several ways to gather information during the study, such as quantitative or qualitative research. For this research, we choose the simple, easy and effective method of collecting data, which is the quantitative research. For the questionnaire, we divided to 3 parts. The first one is introduction, second, isolation part, third, questionnaire, and last but not least, sampling method. For the introduction, we want to make it easier for the respondents by putting the title on the survey so that the respondents will not get confused. We also explained a little bit about the research that we are doing and the purpose of the survey. We also notified the respondents that their whole data, response and action will be completely anonymous. For the isolation part, before we proceed to the data collecting questions, we utilize a special method in isolating between those whose data will be accumulated and those whose data that will be omitted. The questions are very simple and straightforward. For those who answer yes, the data will be taken, and vice versa for those who answer no to the question. Next, sampling method. We went with the stratified arbitrary sampling method. The stratified desultory sampling method engenders homogeneous groups of audience called strata that is connected to the denomination of the research. For our research, we redesign more convenient COVID partition walls in restaurants. We collect 40 respondents together. The sample is the university students and citizens. For the survey response rate, in our data analyzing process, we utilize two methods which are percentage scale and mean analysis. For the percentage scale, we ask about have they dine in the restaurant during the COVID-19 pandemic. There is 75% answer yes and 25% answer no. For the mean analysis, the highest mean score for our questionnaire is 4.25, which is social distancing is difficult in tight spaces, normally filled with back-to-back seating, and servers who wait among the busy tables all evening long. And the moderate lowest is 2.88, which is you already feel safe when in restaurant in the era of COVID-19. For concluding analysis, finally we were able to conclude that many respondents agree if we redesign the wall barrier in the restaurant. This is because most of them are worried about the transmission of this COVID-19 in restaurants if the individual does not take care of the imprisonment properly.
Assalamualaikum and very good day to Dr. Bala and my fellow parents. My name is Solehah binti Shamsul Bahrain and I will be presenting the ideation for report 1. First of all, as we all know that COVID-19 is mostly spread when people are physically near to one another without knowing that the other person might have been infected with the virus. Because of this, the installation of COVID-19 partition wall and physical barriers in restaurants may help to maintain healthy environments and lower the risk of COVID-19 infection. However, when thinking of modifying and redesigning the COVID-19 partition wall while adapting it to the current situation, the first thing that came to our mind is to make sure that the design is as convenient as it can be. Besides that, we also thought of the way on how to ensure that not only customers but the employees as well to feel comfortable and safe. For that reasons, we have come up with 3 different designs of COVID-19 partition wall. The first design is a stretchable partition wall, where this design was created to ease the employees to set up the table and partition wall according to the situation. It can be stretched up for 2 to 4 customers. Next, for the second design, we decided to make the typical transparent partition wall turn into an amazing commercial and private partition wall, where we provided a sensor automatic button attached in the design to make it easier for the customer to have a comfortable moment while dining in. When the sensor detects a movement or body temperature, the transparent mode will automatically change into dark mode. Our third design is a partition wall with a movable barrier. The barrier can only be used for the partition wall of 2 to 4 customers. We created this design because during this pandemic era, we always need to keep a distance with one another, and we believe with this movable barrier, the user will feel safer while dining in.
Hello and good day everyone. My name is Jesyta Jaimis. My number matrix is D2019-2091-595. In this report 2, I'll be explaining about the respondent feedback. Type of research. For this particular research study, we decided to use a mixed method where we collected the data and the respondent feedback and opinion through a survey form. Next, for the questionnaire part, our group have provided and distributed a survey form for the respondent to answer, and our questionnaire consists of 3 parts, which is the decision part, a new idea design, and the subjective question where the respondent need to give their opinion and feedback on the design or what would they recommend to improve the design. I'll be explaining a bit about the questionnaire part. For the introduction and decision part, before we start with the question, we introduce ourselves and we explain the purpose of this survey form to the respondent. We're starting off with the yes or no question, where we ask the respondent if they have dining out or have never dining out during the pandemic. Okay, moving on to the next part, which is the new idea design. For this part, we display our three new redesigned ideas of COVID-19 wall partition for the respondent to choose. The respondent will have to choose only one out of the three redesigned ideas, which is the most suitable and convenient for the users when eating at the restaurant lah. Also, each of the redesigned ideas, we have provided an explanation so that the respondent will understand on how the ideas or the design works. Last one is the subjective question. After the respondent chose which design is the best and convenient according to their perspective and liking, they will need to submit a short answer of their opinion or recommendation to improve the chosen design. For this, for our sampling method, we went with probability sampling (stratified sampling method) to draw conclusion from different subgroups or homogeneous groups of audience called strata. We have decided to use the stratified sampling method because it provides greater precision, also to avoid sampling bias. It is quite general designation where everyone must have had the experience of dining in the restaurant during the pandemic times. That is also one of the reasons why the stratified sampling method fitting to our study. Also, if any of the respondents have answered no in the first question, in which asked if they have dining during the pandemic, then the questionnaire will come to an end and consider it over for them. So that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Ariesya, so I'll be presenting about the data analysis that we got from the respondent by using the Google form. So the first one is have you ever dined out during COVID-19? So the total is 100% yes by 20 people. Second question is, based on your thought about COVID-19 partition design, which design do you prefer more convenient for diners when eating in restaurant during COVID-19 pandemic? So the design A is 25%, which is 5 people. Design 2 is 45%, which is 9 people. And design 3 is 30%, which is 6 people. So here we can see that most of the respondents chooses design 2, which is the automatic sensor darker mode. Third question is, what is your opinion on design that chose, and what would you recommend to improve the design? So here are some of the response that we got. They think that design 3 is more privacy and they love the idea of it. And some also ask for the design 3 and 2 be combined, so that would be they will look great together. Also, they like the automatic and sensor dark mode. So that is all from me.
Back to me again. So from the results of our second survey, we have finalized design 2 as the most suitable and convenient for the users to use when dining in the restaurant. As I have explained in report 1 and also have been mentioned by Amanda just now, the design 2 is the partition wall with automatic sensor dark mode. This design was designed to help the customers to have a peaceful and comfortable moment while dining in without have to think about the strangers besides them. We believe this design will be very convenient for every users out there. In conclusion, majority of the respondents agree that not only it can help in preventing the COVID-19 to spread, but Design 2 also is very convenient and adaptable with the COVID-19 pandemic situation as well. So basically, our group have come out with 3 different designs of partition wall, and we have finalized our second design as the best and the most convenient design to be used for the users out there. So that is all from our group. We would like to thank our lecturer, Dr. Bala, and our fellow friends, and also we would like to thank the respondents that have participated in our surveys.